Hello, everyone. My name is Jay, and this is Conversations on Purpose for the Global Coaching Academy. Okay, big warm welcome to my friend, Mr. Ethan Davies. Hello, mate. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Jay. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you here. And just to give viewers a bit of a background, Ethan is a graduate of our diploma in mentoring, coaching, and interpersonal facilitation. He also has a bachelor degree in health and science. Is that right, Eth? That's what it's called. And specialized in Chinese medicine and acupuncture. So he's working in his own clinic as an acupuncturist now, which is pretty amazing, being that you're only in your mid-20s, aren't you, mate? How old are you?
26, just turned 26.
Nice one. That's pretty remarkable, because I also know, Ethan, that you facilitate weekly personal spiritual development classes. So you're doing all of these adult things, and which is a bit of an inspiration, really. And looking forward to just talk to you a bit more about your journey and how you've arrived at where you are at. And for me personally, I've known Ethan for several years, and you were like a little brother to me for a while there. I had a residential and commercial brick paving landscaping company, which Ethan jumped on the crew, and he was labouring and learning the trade there for a while. And that was a big learning curve for you, Eth. And it's just been wonderful to see you grow, mate, and step more into yourself over the last few years. And I was really grateful to come and visit you about a month ago for one of your classes, one of your personal spiritual development classes, which was really impressive. And I was like, you're really starting to stand in your own light and just to discover who you are as a man more. And it was nice to see, mate. You've come so far over the last 5 years. It's awesome, Heath.
Thank you, Jay. Yeah, appreciate it.
So, yeah, it's been great, Heath, because I know just when you came and worked with us, it was a big thing. You hadn't really done much of that. So, you've gone ahead in leaps and bounds, which is awesome. So just want to dive in, mate, about your journey, specifically with GCA and how that works in with your acupuncture. But let's just start with the acupuncture, the Chinese medicine. How did that come about?
I actually get this question nearly every new client I see. They ask me like when they're on the bed, they ask me, how did I get started? And it kind of just started officially with my mother. When I finished high school, I hadn't started working with you yet. It was just a year out of high school. My mother was doing naturopathy, studying at Endeavour. And one day she just asked me, she's like, why don't you try acupuncture? And I was like, I just thought about it, pondered it, and I just like, all right, cool, let's give it a go. Because I listened to her back then, especially. She got a lot of good advice. So I just jumped in and started studying. And that was back in 2018.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I graduated 3 years ago, I think. So, yeah.
Nice, mate. I'm interested, Heath, because again, you're a young fella still, 26 now, so you were doing that in your early 20s. When you were growing up, mate, did you have a sense that you wanted to help people? Was that a thing for you growing up, or is that something that evolved? Because I mean, you're really quite involved in the helping profession and in this healing modality. So I'm just curious to know, it's not the usual thing for a 20-year-old to be studying that and already knowing the direction they want to go in. So can you share a bit more about your experience with that?
Yeah, totally. And yeah, acupuncture is a helping modality. So yeah, definitely correct. But I remember when I was in my first year of studying, having a bit of a meltdown. I was like, I don't want to do this. It was pretty difficult. Like, I'm not very academic. So it was challenging. In the first year, there was a lot of like chemistry and biology and just a lot of, because it's a Bachelor of Health Science, so a lot we had to do. And I remember having a meltdown of like, I don't want to help people. I don't like people and like this. So it
Yeah.
was definitely not, it was an evolution because I wasn't into helping people. It wasn't a big part of like my thing growing up.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. It just kind of developed more spiritual insights when I was younger in my teens, and just seeing the world differently and just knowing there's more and nature and different things. So that's where that path kind of led.
Uh-huh.
Not so much helping, let's help people grow and myself grow, is more just, I guess, yeah, helping myself grow. And it kind of just evolved, right? Because you grow more when you help others. You just share what you've learned, and then it kind of keeps growing. That's how it works. It helps the loop,
Yeah.
the cycle of growth. So yeah.
So from quite a young age, you were interested in spirituality, mate. You're having some experiences. You mentioned nature and spiritual insight. So what was that about?
I think no, it wasn't. I often reflect on this, like, when did it all start? It was around the age of 15, 15, 16. I just started just seeing the world, seeing the fear in the world, really. Like, I'd watch like TV and the television and all the adverts. I'd be like, everything's trying to kill us. Like, kind of it coming from that conspiracy way.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
I just went more down those rabbit holes and just had different experiences and just started and but while seeing, I was like, wow, I feel like what they, like at a young age, 15, 16, they're trying to harm the human body, and which will suppress the soul coming in. I kind of got that, and then I started having more kind of soul experiences, more real, oh wow, like, and looking at my body and kind of like, what is this, kind of the profoundness of stuff. And
Mm,
I quickly moved out of that kind of fear-based conspiracy rabbit hole stuff. It was entertaining, but I noticed I was becoming quite paranoid and judgy and attacky.
hmm.
It was part of the vibe, I feel. Comes in handy now, like with different things, to have that kind of foundation of,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, so yeah.
Nice, man. All seems perfect, really, when you're sharing there all the little pieces of the puzzle that have led you to be where you're at now. And I remember you actually having some meltdowns when you were working with me about acupuncture and about the study of that and really like, oh, what do I actually want to do? But I could kind of see within you, Ethan, that in front of you that helping other people, because I know you to be someone that's really interested in your own personal spiritual development and growth. And yeah, a big part of that is sharing that and not shoving it down people's throats. But I could kind of see that trajectory, especially with the modality you were studying. And I could see how that would lock into you being able to share your unique insights and who you are whilst, working somatically with people in that kind of way. So yeah, I can see how all that's evolved. Yeah. So
Yeah.
GCA, my friend, how your well, firstly, what inspired you to study with the coaching academy?
Well, I was pondering this, and it was a very distinct moment because, um, well, I knew a bunch of people kind of who had done it. I know working with you, you'd done it the year before me. I think the year before, maybe a few years before. But no, a friend of mine had done it, and then she asked if I could be her client when it was time
Ah,
for
yeah,
her to do the
the pro bonos, the coachee.
correct.
Yeah, 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 sure.
So I did that, and I was like, wow, it was pretty profound, actually. The Because I'd never been coached before. I was like, never been coached, and on the one receiving, it was pretty profound. And I recall her being like pretty great at it too.
Hmm. Hmm.
Her name was Sam. Yeah, and I was just impressed with her ability to be able to do that. And I was like, okay, cool. This is something that would come in handy for me. I could just sense it. So that was on the beginning of it. And
Yeah.
so it went from there. I think I started then 2 years later after that, or a year later.
So were you doing those parallel, the acupuncture study and the GCA? Was there some overlap there?
This thing, I believe so, because we worked it out right that I did this coaching GCA in 21, and
Yeah, so you would have, yeah,
I graduated 2021 as well.
yeah.
So I
So
think it was overlap.
that would have been a lot for that final year as well,
Yeah.
because it is, the diploma itself is a big course. How's the so interested to know how's the all the GCA skills and tools? How is that influenced your acupuncture practice?
Yeah, it's a good question because it definitely has. Like the skills that I learned in GCA was to be able to hold space. That was a big thing, and to not impose. That's what I really learned, to not impose what I think and feel is right onto the
Mm,
client, my
mm,
coaching client. It's like, you know what's going on. And so how I work with clients is really, with my acupuncture and Chinese medicine, is really like knowing that they have the power, that they and just to keep an open mind of what's going on and just keep asking them. And it's just to not feel that I know what's best for you. I
mm,
don't know what's best for you. I have similar experience with other clients have similar symptoms, so I can offer these things, but it's never imposing my
mm,
beliefs, or and which comes in handy with the spiritual stuff as well, because it's like it may resonate with you, it may not. So I'm never imposing, and just kind
mm,
of offering a bit of that mentoring advice, but a lot of coaching, just
mm.
asking them questions, how they go, oh, like why do you feel you've manifested that disease, or like what's in there for you to learn, like these type of questions, like, and
Yeah.
it helps just open the possibilities for them and how they can heal, because that's what it's all about. And that's where they come in handy, I suppose, because the coaching, mentoring, it's about helping them heal, evolve, grow. And same
Mm.
with Chinese medicine, helping them the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah. You can see the similarities there. A huge part of coaching is that it is client centered, and a lot of people, that's a big thing that, I've spoken to quite a few people, and they say that's a big thing about learning not to impose
Yes.
their self. And because there is this dynamic out there in the helping profession where the facilitator is superior and the client is inferior, and
Yes.
a lot of people who are healers and teachers, they derive a lot of their self-worth and their self-esteem about being that.
Yeah.
Yet it's really coaching in its essence is really client centered, and we're coming from this place of this person already knows within them what they need to do. They know what's best for them. There might be some blocks to get to that, and our job is just to use wise questioning to help them uncover what they already know. And that's a huge part of the coaching course. Yeah, so great you've picked up that skill. I think that's really valuable and important out there for more people in the profession, and teachers, facilitators, healers, to be coming from that place to realize, oh, hang on a minute, this is an aspect of God in front of me. God lives within them, life lives within them, divinity lives within them. This namaste experience that we talk about is that divinity in me meets, loves, honors, respects, sees, and greets you. And coming from that place when we're healing is a wonderful thing. So we're not, I know better, and this is what you should do. And it's much more empowering when, if I'm in a whatever, if I'm in a relationship with a mentor or a coach or whatever, it's so much more empowering if I come to the realization myself rather than they tell me.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome, mate. Awesome that you've picked up on that and you're really embodying that in your practice. That's great. And what about yourself, Ethan? How do you feel that the coaching course changed you personally, professionally, spiritually? Can you give us some insight into that?
Yes. Well, yeah. Well, another big part of the coaching course, the GCA, was energy hygiene, and really kind of teaching tools to take care of your feelings and what's going on, and being kind, not judging yourself. And because I'm always not so much these, oh yeah, actually, but I don't know where it comes from, but where we like just we need to punish ourselves. We've done something
Yeah.
wrong, so we need to refrain from that thing because, and all of these things. And it's like, well, I wouldn't do that for my client,
Mm,
and like So it's cool to look at that, like, well, how would I treat a client right now? With kindness, with acceptance, not judgment. So doing that to myself instead.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that, a lot of those realizations, and about kindness and energy hygiene as well, which we can talk about definitely, because that plays a huge role in my own personal stuff and with my clients, working with clients.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's such a big part. Really, it's kind of the foundation, really, of the course is the energetic hygiene. So, yeah, share a bit about that, how that's helped you and how you use that in your business and just personal life.
Yeah, well, I mean, with working with clients is so important because it's like everyone, all clients should be, sorry, all practitioners would benefit from knowing about energy hygiene, right? Because boundaries, knowing what's yours, feeling wise, yours and theirs, that's probably the biggest thing that I used to struggle with was, I remember even working with you, like I'd be driving you around or in the car with you and I'd be feeling these feelings. I'd be like, wait, is this mine or is this his? And I'd be stressing out of
Yeah.
what's going
Yeah.
on. So yeah, when I'm with a client, okay, a good example. I had a child, I was treating him 12 years old, 13 years old, and the mother was there. And I left the room, but I heard them arguing, and I
Yeah.
walked back into the space, and the room felt thick, and I
Yeah.
could like in of frustration of them, and maybe a bit embarrassment, where I was like, "That's not mine. That's okay. I'm okay." And
Yeah.
then had that energetic. I cut cords as well, and it's like not taking on, and not worrying, and just not judging really them. It's like
Yeah.
this is how it is. Life's messy. It's like, no stress. It's all good. So
Yeah.
big part of that, not taking on other people's energy.
And so important, Eth, as a practitioner, like you said, in the healing field, so important to know, be really clear on, oh, this is my energy, this is their energy, and to have these tools, which for people that don't know, energetic hygiene is a very holistic and thorough approach to energetic integrity, basically, and keeping our energetic field clean and clear, being aware of what other people are going through and not taking that on and all of that sort of stuff. So as a sensitive one, Ethan, which you are, and a lot of people watching these podcasts, they're sensitive people. They're people that care about life and others, and they want to serve and they want to help. And most people they're more sensitive than the average person, and we can be impacted by the coarse energy in the world, and just generally we can be impacted by energy out there. And so yeah, we do a deep dive into energetic hygiene to get really clear on all components of energetic integrity, and so we can maintain a space of clarity, because it can be difficult out there in the world when there's all these people thinking all these things, and we've got the media doing this and projecting this at us, and it's not all love and light out there. So it can be difficult for sensitive ones who don't have energetic protection and all of these things which we teach in the course. So that's wonderful, Ethan. That's wonderful that that's helping you in your practice, because I've met a lot of healers, and I mean, you let me know if you've had this experience. Maybe not because you learned the tools before being qualified in acupuncture. Is after sessions or after a day of doing sessions, coaching or healing, you're just drained and messy and cloudy.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, so I was doing this work definitely when I was studying, and when we study in the uni for like the last 2 years, we're in a student clinic.
Oh,
So I'm with
yeah,
my peers who are other treating, and I remember like them just gossiping and talking so much smack about their clients that they've just had, and
yeah,
possibly being overheard by their clients, and but because they were judging and having feelings that got brought up,
yeah,
um and yeah, and exactly feeling exhausted from that client, and that client was so difficult, and all of this stuff, like just taking on so much stuff of other people's and making it mean stuff about them and taking things personally.
mm,
So I was noticed that, and I did my best to not judge that either, and see
Yeah.
that perhaps in myself where I did do that because I'm not perfect either. But it's always just learning and reflecting on, oh, how can I improve, really?
Yeah. Yeah, great. And with that as well, Eth, I guess you were talking about kindness and the self-care there as well. It's like, yeah, we're bound to make mistakes, and a lot of us, a lot of human beings are so good at being so critical. We make a mistake and we're just so critical. But yeah, again, the journey in GCA is such a deep dive and deeply introspective, where we do all this work on ourselves to uncover who we actually are, and really make sure that our attitude is coming from a place of optimism and self-care and kindness and what would love do now and all of these things. So yeah, awesome, mate. And just also, Ethan, I've got to share, when you were talking there about the gossiping and stuff like that, it just reminds me of the ethics component of the course as well, which is, we're really high on ethics and making sure that we are bringing our best self to our clients, but also living that, not just putting our hat on when we're a coach and then being something completely different to that when we're not coaching. It's like really living an ethical life, and we often say that who you are is how you coach.
Yeah. Yeah, and that again, that crosses over very nicely as well with acupuncture. And sometimes we're getting that people, they're almost naked, like we cover them and stuff, and
Yeah.
people kind of have all sorts of stuff around that. Some people are really like don't want to be seen. Other people's get naked in front of you. You have to quickly get out of the room. So all of these stuff, it's like really ethical, making sure it's like, okay, with
Mm.
using words, it's like, okay, I need you to take off this, but put your towel over you. So it's like not taking advantage of
Yeah.
anything. And because there is that, I was, when you were saying about the authority aspect, there is, like, I'm 25 and sometimes I'll be talking to like a 50-year-old about different these spiritual concepts and health and growth, and I'm sometimes surprised that they actually listen to me. It's interesting. It's like, because I have this perception, oh, I'm so young and like they should know, but it's not about age. It's actually like,
Mm.
and I, yeah, have this. That's what is cool, like having this foundation of Chinese medicine,
Mm.
because it is a great foundation, but there is so much more of just like how to live holistically, and
Mm.
that does put you in a bit of authority. So with, what's the saying? With great power, there's great responsibility. So if you don't
Absolutely.
have
Yeah.
ethics on that, oh my God, it's a disaster. So
Yeah. Well, good on you, Ethan. And yeah, again, it's an interesting dynamic, being that you are so young and in playing that role. So, are there any other ways, mate, that GCA have influenced or changed you professionally, spiritually? Anything else?
yes, 100%. Because I think, I mean, it's been a while since, but it's uh, ABC. That's what is a big component, the ABCs of
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
that is taught, and in the GCA, and that's align, breathe, and center. And that was so important when I was doing the pro bonos and doing the triads and the coaching, is to not come from the mind and to be thinking about what the person's saying and thinking about what I'll be saying next. Is to come in the practice of practicing align, breathing, and centering, to coming into that a bigger space, my center. Many words for it, but it's like coming back into my center, grounded, not scattered, so that I'm able to be, there. And so that's so important with my acupuncture clients. It's like when they're talking about these things, and to not be just thinking about what they're saying,
Mm,
um, and also to be in like a receptive mode and picking up, I can share that, and it feels to share that. So it's coming from a feeling space, and I remember that was being huge in the GCA. It's like we are feeling beings. We got to come out from our feeling center and navigate life through the feelings. And so yeah, that was a huge part and has helped with my spiritual, personal, and professional life.
Yeah, it's just such a lovely gift, that align, breathe, and center. Such a simple thing, but it's so deep and quite profound, really, if you start using that and living from that place. Nice one, Eth. It's just as you were talking there, it reminds me of one of the core competencies is active listening. And we speak a lot about in the course, which you may remember, that so much is communicated in sessions when we're talking in a coaching relationship, but it would be the same with any healing modality. So much is communicated, yet 90% of that isn't the words that's being shared. So part of the reason that we share this ABC and the energetic hygiene and encourage people to practice present moment awareness and all of that is so you are genuinely deeply in the moment, feeling and sensing and using your intuition and the other senses that you've got to really know what's actually going on, because often what the person is presenting verbally isn't actually what they're there for. And we can miss that if we're just coming from the head and listening to the words and da da da, yep, just treat this thing, this symptom. Yet from that active listening space and from that aligned space, that centered space, as you said, we can really get a sense of what's actually going on and what's actually required of me in this moment, which might be completely the opposite in many ways to what's being presented on the surface.
Yeah. Yeah. And even in Chinese medicine, when you're doing the consultation, a part of that is inspection. So you, as soon as you first see them and how they're walking into the space, you're already kind of getting a sense of what's going on. So they've talked about that in Chinese medicine, but this, like in the GCA, really exploring that helped cross over of all the stuff which wasn't taught in the degree, which is just which you learn on the job, I suppose. But having that again, that foundation of the GCA was it was like a big kickstart, I suppose.
Fill in some of the gaps that were missed. Yeah. It reminds me as well, Ethan, of with something else we're talking about the course. You keep reminding me about things, is the field theory, which is what we talk about a lot, which is in any relationship, there's this field that we create, and it's within that field that there's just all that communication happening. And that's an energetic field again. So it comes back to the energetic hygiene, but being really tuned into the field, whether you're with your coachee or client, whatever it is, tuned into the field, really aware of that energetic dynamic that is created when two people come together, and being in that space, active listening. And when we're really aware of that, it's amazing what we can pick up on and what magic can really happen in that space when you're deeply listening and connected to the field consciously.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, in that, not judging or
Yeah.
not judging the other person, because when you just don't, and it's profound when someone doesn't judge you, they just listen to you and no judgment, and you can just share so much stuff that you're judging, and it's like, oh, it's so gross, and they just like, they don't judge you whatsoever. It can be super healing. It's like, oh wow, okay, that's not as hideous as I thought it was.
Yeah.
So I
Healing.
remember that when I'm with clients to do, like, if I it's the best thing I can do is not judge them, then it's
Hmm.
a successful day.
Yeah. That would just be deeply healing in itself, Heath. If you only did that, that can be such a new and profound experience for people that are so used to being judged, because there's so much out in the world. So uh, coming to you, my friend, in your little cocoon of non-judgment and loving and kindness with your ethics in place and all of that, I can see the value that clients would be getting with you, Heath.
And that's another thing, just quickly, I add, like, what I realized is, oh my gosh, like a big part of my job as acupuncturist, it's like sometimes only a little part of it is doing the needling. It's like a big
Hmm.
part of it is actually listening to them and hearing, because they don't like, you go to a doctor, the other modalities can be in and out quickly, but a big part of in my practice actually is could be for 30 minutes. We're just chatting, just talking,
Hmm.
and just
Hmm.
what's going on. And so again, it's so much these coaching and mentoring that I learned, and the tools does play actually a huge role in my practice of just how I am with the people,
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
clients.
Yeah, it's nice hearing you say that, Ethan, and we get this a little bit, quite a bit with people that have done the course, that they're not coaches and mentors. They haven't actually gone down that route post graduating, but they're just like, oh my golly, it just merges so well with their chosen modality and profession and in the workplace, and just helps with their relationship with self, with in romantic relationships, business relationships with clients. Just all of those skills really ripple out and help them in many ways. Yeah, very cool. Well, what's the most challenging thing you would find working in the helping profession with clients?
I suppose, yeah, the most challenging thing is actually when I get in my own way and having all my stuff about needing to be needing to help them, needing to like for it to work, needing like all of my stuff when I'm not fully centered in the line and I'm scattered and then I'm taking things personally with that client there. I'm like, oh, they don't want to come back. And
Mm,
just when I get in the way of myself, that can be hard because they're like a good mirror for that as well. Like I'm working with a client. So a
yeah.
lot of stuff comes up, and when I'm not taking care of myself with energy hygiene and just not judging, then it can be challenging, very challenging.
I want to seize this moment, my friend, and if you could share, because you're actively involved in conscious evolution and healing, and you're on your own journey with that, would you share some techniques that help you deal with any huge judgments that are coming up, or if you get triggered by a client, just generally, Eth, what are some techniques that help you manage or clear through, transform big feelings that are coming up?
Yeah. The first thing that jumps out straight away is really like, okay, just taking a breath and acknowledging that's what I'm feeling. Like that's what I'm feeling, and it's okay. And part of that, it's like it's just a part of me. So that's what I would say. It's just a part of me. It's just a part of me because it's not all of me. Not all of me is triggered. Not all of me is upset. Not all of me is that, this, that, the other. It's just a part of me. And that helps me not become it, become the trigger or become whatever it is, the feeling. It's like I can, and the acknowledge part is key because I'm acknowledging, yeah, I'm feeling that. It's a little part of me, and I'm not pushing it away or trying to get rid of it, or not judging it either. It's just there, but I'm not it. So there's other parts of me that are on board, and I can, when it's with a client, I can kind of put a lid on that and like we'll deal with that later. Like this is not the
Mhm.
appropriate time. Other moments it can be. Um, to slowly work at that and just not judge and well, just not judging it is a big key. Just like acknowledging it, feeling it. So it's like a bit of multitasking. I've come from a background of a lot of like sit down cave time meditation. So it's been a few big years and it's not doing just that and kind of,
Mm.
you know, bringing that down and actually making my life about my meditation practice, my
Mhm.
choices and so getting that skill of being able to be aligned and centered easy when there's no distractions, but practicing it more while I'm operating, while I'm talking, while I'm doing things,
Yeah.
that's also key. But what I said before, definitely not judging, just acknowledging, and it's just a part of me.
Yeah. Nice one, mate. Nice. Yeah, when you were talking there about the cave time and that, and it just what came to me, it just felt like this integrated approach, taking all that wisdom and the stuff that you get from your meditation and being able to function and bring that in a very integrated and relatable way to people out in the world.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And we've had many chats about, how I think we both had that experience of in the early days when we did
Mm.
start meditating, it became a drug. It's so
Yeah.
easy to escape
Addiction.
life and just
Yeah.
meditate and be like, don't want to be in the world in your life because it's just so much better in that
Mhm.
blissful type of meditation practice.
Yeah. It's funny, I hadn't thought of that, Heath, but you're right. When I kind of really kicked off and woke up when I was 21, it was like this instant thing went inside of me. Oh, I've got to meditate, and I'd done a little bit when I was a kid because my dad touched on that and meditation. I was like, oh, what's this? And it felt very familiar to me. So when I really kind of switched on, it was like, oh, meditating. And yeah, so true. I'd forgotten about that, Heath. It was and yeah, it became an addiction to me. And then my partner and child will come home, and just the day-to-day kind of challenges and bills and paying a mortgage, being really young, it was just really overwhelming for me because I was leaning so heavily and on these blissful experiences and having this high-end spiritual experiences, and just then not being able to really deal with the everyday life and the challenges of that. So yeah, in many ways, similar journey, especially early on, is making my day to day more of a meditative thing, and learning how to integrate and be in the world and bring those insights in a relatable way, which is exactly what I said to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember you sharing that. And it's just like taking care of the feelings, because that
yeah,
can be the hardest part. It's like we have all of these feelings about the mortgage and life and the partner and stuff, but it's like taking care of that instead of just suppressing it through meditation or suppressing it through drugs, alcohol, TV kind of thing. It's like, okay, this is what's going on. I acknowledge this. And that's a big part of the GCA course. I remember them talking about that. It's like you got to feel your feelings.
yeah. I remember being like, feelings. Get away from me because I've got this. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, what is this emotion and this anger and stuff? That's not
Yeah, it's not
spiritual.
spiritual to be. Yeah, it's not spiritual to feel anger.
Yeah,
Funny.
yeah. Big journey. Yeah, great to be sharing all this stuff, Ethan. Hopefully it's helpful for people out there watching. Other side of the coin, my friend, what's the most rewarding thing, yeah, working in the profession?
Yeah, it definitely is. It sounds weird, but I think you ask any of the helping profession, they'll say the same. Or maybe it is when you actually, when the penny drops with your client, when they get some, either you say something and they're like, "Oh my God, wow," or when you just ask a question and they have the realization, or I think that's the most rewarding is when, and I'm genuinely, that's what I mean. I mean this when I say this. It's like when they, either through my intervention or not, or just being a part of that, when they get something which is key to help them take the next step. That I don't know what that is, why that's so rewarding, but that's super rewarding
Hmm.
to experience that with someone else in that profession. I mean, I love it when it happens for me. So it's like when it happens for another and you're a part
Yeah,
of that in some way, it's pretty cool.
paying it forward. So do you have a mentor, mate?
I do. I do
Do you want to talk
definitely.
about that? How does that help you? What do you use that for?
Hmm.
What would your life be if you didn't have a mentor? Just a bit of sharing about that, the value of mentoring, having a mentor.
Yeah, I do have a mentor and I have weekly catch-ups with him and I do an email to him every day. No, every day, every once a week as well. But usually like a day before the catch-up so we can talk about that. And again, it's when I'm bringing something I'm really struggling with and judging. It's often I'm judging it when I'm struggling with something, and I just put it on the table, and then no judgment, and then just talk. He can just talk and just unpack it without judgment. I've had that so many times now, and it's just like, oh wow, okay, if he isn't judging that, then I don't need to judge that, and he's further ahead than I am, so it's like. Damn, that's pretty cool. Another part which really helps in this stage where I'm at is it is, how do I say it? Accountability. Even though there
Mm-hmm.
is someone outside of me,
Mm-hmm.
it's still helpful to have, okay, like I he wouldn't do this, and how would he feel if he saw me doing this? Or what would he, so there is that component of having it is beneficial. I suppose I feel that having someone to hold you accountable in moments, you know, as well as holding yourself accountable. But it does help when you have some other people who would be like, oh, how would they feel if they saw what I was doing right now? It's like, oh, okay. It's like a good like hot or cold like signpost almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. It can be
Helpful if,
confronting though. Very confront. It can be super
yeah.
confronting having a mentor because it's like they're gonna call you on your stuff and it's challenging, but yeah, I love it. I do love it. Part of me doesn't, but other parts do.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear what you're saying there about the accountability, and that only works if you've got a mentor and people in your life that you genuinely respect.
True.
And for me as well, Ethan, mentoring, when we choose a mentor, when we have a relationship with a mentor, that person is already doing what we want to do. They have already traversed the path that we are walking upon. So they're a couple of steps ahead of us on the path that we want to walk down. So really helpful to have that in our life. And it's got to be someone that we actually respect, because otherwise that wouldn't really work, that dynamic of, oh, if they saw me now, what would they think? It's like, oh, I don't
Yeah.
care. But if they are genuinely someone that, no, I actually want to be more like them in my own unique way, it's not about devotion and carbon copying ourselves. But when we choose a mentor, it's like, oh no, they've got something that I aspire to be. They've already walked the same path. And yeah, I don't know where I'm going with that, but that can be really helpful, because then it really is, oh, what would they do in this moment, or what would they think from their perspective? And not looking outside of ourselves at the same time, always bringing it back to ourselves. But that's a helpful kind of scaffolding to help us along the way.
Yeah. Yeah. And my mentor just offers great advice and just this, and this was what I would do. You know, as he says, this is what I do. It might work for you. Give it a go. If it doesn't, you know. So just having someone who can offer tips and tricks
Mm,
of how to navigate professionally, personally, and spiritually. That's what it's
mm.
about for me, having a mentor.
Awesome, mate. So that's all really, really awesome, Heath. We're getting to the end now. So I'm wondering, if you had to choose one thing, what would be the point of difference with the GCA diploma?
Yeah. Well, like we talked about, I was doing my bachelor degree in Chinese medicine at the same time I was doing this diploma degree. Um, and they were so different. Like so, well, sorry, the first few years of the Chinese medicine degree was super left brain and thinking and remembering and different things and even towards, but whereas the GCA, the learning was really holistic. It was, and it was like about feeling and it was also right brain and um, focused of like, yeah, you may be a visual learner, you may be kinesthetic learner, you may be a verbal learner, and so it put all of that into consideration. And I suppose like, and I'm thinking about it, it's kind of like how you teach like children. It's like it's engaging, it's playful, it's
Mm,
alive. It's not just dead words on the page, kind of reading that. And some moments in my degree, or Chinese medicine degree, would have a lecturer just reading the slides on the board. And I'm just like, I could do this. Like, where
mm,
someone was engaging. And I remember all of the facilitators in the GCA were just so different and engaging and made it real. And it was, we're able to integrate it into our lives professionally and personally and spiritually. So it was full bodied, which was what I meant by holistic. The learning was holistic and the
mm,
teachings were holistic. It wasn't just mental left brain. It was like fully. So that's what is really different. And they talked about that. It's like this course is different.
mm.
And it definitely was in that regard.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, great. Great to hear. Have you got anything else you want to share about your journey? Just generally, any advice out there for people who may be considering moving into the helping profession? Just anything that you might want to share with the world while you're here, Ace.
Yeah, well, I got the space. I mean, I've probably mentioned it many times, but that the not judging part, and this is where I've got from my mentor. He over the years he's talked about it, and it's so key because the stuff we struggle with is the stuff we're judging. Um, so if you can do anything, just practice becoming aware of the judgment. It's like, oh wow, I'm judging that thing. It's like, okay, I practice stop judging.
Mm.
It's like I think it's unrealistic to say I'll have no judgment. It's like, no, I'm full of judgment, but my practice is to like catch it and to stop it.
Mm.
And I feel that's so important in your own personal life and being happier, in being more successful. And then when you practice it on yourself, it's easy to do it with other people.
Mm.
And in the helping profession, that's what we want, right? Because we want to help heal. And if they're coming to you with all of their problems, often caused by judgment, and we are judging them
Mm.
for that, it doesn't help. Doesn't
Mm.
help. So, and I think it's so easy. It's just like you just stop judging, and then you realize more and more as you stop judging where you do continue to judge and you keep unpacking. Like this morning, I had a realization. It's like when I just have random feelings come up, I can easily not judge it. But when I have feelings come up that I've created, like I've been watching TV for too long and now I feel gross, and I that's harder to like just accept and not judge. Uh,
Mm.
so I just realized that this morning, and I'll unpack that more. It's still half formed, but yeah, that's what I would say. Practice not judging.
Less judgment, more kindness.
Yeah, or place of anything, gratitude, just allowing, kindness, tolerance. Yeah.
Beautiful, Heath. Well said, mate. And I like to wrap these shows up with your favorite quote or mantra.
Hmm.
Have you got
Yeah,
one?
I do. Well, I don't know if it's my favorite one, but it's the one of the week, which is really my favorite one of the week. And it's by Winston Churchill, and it's called, or it goes, true genius resides in the capacity for evaluation of uncertain, hazardous, and conflicting information.
Got to say that again, Heath.
So, true genius resides in the capacity for evaluation of uncertain, hazardous, and conflicting information. So it's like to be able to hold opposing ideas and
Mm.
not go one or the other or attack the other because it doesn't resonate with but to be able to hold like all these conflicting and hazardous and uncertain ideas and information and kind of stay steady in it and
Mm.
not go one or the other and polarize and attack. So that's my theme for the week because I've been catching myself doing that, attacking the other. So
Hmm.
I came across this quote the other day, and it's like, oh wow, that's really I like that.
Beautiful. Love, Winston. Thank you, my friend. Is there anything else before we wrap
Thanks,
up?
thanks for having me, and thanks for being in my life. Being a good role model. Like you said, you're an older brother for I was like 18, 19, 20, up to these like 7 years. So, and yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Love you, Heath. Again, awesome watching you grow, my friend. And I'll put all your details down in the description for acupuncture and any details you want there. So if you would like to get in touch with Heath and find out more about the services he's providing, also the personal spiritual development stuff, then you can do so. Information will be down below. Lots of love, people. This is Conversations on Purpose. See you on the next episode.